going on, y'all? What's going on? Happy and blessed Tuesday. Today is November the 7th, 2023. Hope you guys had a good day, a good work day, and I hope your night is going good if you are still up, and thank you so much for tuning into Shay's Tube. Also, guys, let me ask you to do a couple things. If you enjoyed this content tonight, don't forget to thumbs up this video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Excuse me, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Let me go ahead and do the Copyright Disclaimer Act. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, research, and etc. Entire copyright disclaimer will be in my comment area. It is in the description area, and some of it is scrolling across this video. All right, guys. So tonight, guys, we are going to talk about the 10 questions you shouldn't answer if you are pulled over by the cops. Also, I'm gonna try to talk about manipulators. Okay. Welcome to all my new subbies too. Thank you so much for joining Shay's family, and thank you to all my subbies that's been with me for the longest. Welcome to everybody in the bushes and everybody who watches this in the replay. All right. So sorry about being late, guys. Y'all know I was at work, so that's why I'm late. I had a couple things to do outside of work as well. So sorry about being late, but sometimes we have to be late, Yeah, I've been laughing all day on night long. I'm not gonna lie. These people on YouTube, some of these people on YouTube be having me cracking up, okay? I mean, sometimes I be wondering what goes through some people's head. You know what I'm saying, on YouTube? But they be having me dying laughing. I mean, I was cracking up tonight. I mean, for real. While I was at work, I was cracking up. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it makes the time go by quick. But anyway, let's go ahead and get on started with this live for here. Let me turn this down a little bit. Okay, so I think I'm going to do I think I'm going to talk about manipulators first, all right? Because that's really a subject. I talked about this subject once before, but I actually think I need to revisit that subject. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been hearing a lot of weird things that people been telling me about, a lot of weird experiences, and I too have came in contact with someone that loves to use manipulation. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about that first. Then I'll tell you the 10 things that you should not do if you are pulled over by 12. All right? Why do they call them 12? Tell me that. Because I know 5-0, the cops, all of this stuff, but 12? Why? I was wondering about that. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. So let me first start off by telling you guys what a manipulative person, what a manipulator is. Okay. All right. So here we go. So here we go. Let's see. I can't even talk right tonight. Okay. So here they go with these ads, y'all. Hold on. First of all, let me just tell you what manipulation is itself. Manipulation is an attempt to gain control of a situation. A manipulative person may resort to diverse tactics to get what they want. Learning the telltale signs can help you protect yourself. And it's very important to know these signs, because you have a lot of manipulative men and women out here, okay? Point blank. And I don't know why they do certain things. It's just crazy. So anyway, manipulation itself is like a crossing behavior as a means of trying to gain control or power in interpersonal interaction. All right. And this is according to Lauren Mazopus, who is a licensed marriage and family therapist in Roseville, California. Anyway, manipulation can be pro-social or beneficial to relationships. It can also be antisocial or harmful to relationships. Okay, let me get a drink of water real quick, y'all. Hold on. Now, to qualify a behavior as manipulation, it is important to be aware of the person's developmental stage, explains Mrs. Massopos. Okay, I'm not gonna go into all this stuff she wrote right here because they're talking about kids, teenagers, and all this stuff. I'm basically talking about grown-ups. Okay, so anyway, she stated by adulthood, many adults grow out of manipulative tendencies and develop more subtle ways of achieving their goals, like being assertive and setting healthy boundaries. All right, but the kids may use um, manipulations to get what they want, but because they don't know any better. You know what I'm saying? Teenagers do know better, but sometimes they still use it, but they're still not mature. You know what I'm saying? But when you get to be grown, you're mature and you know what you're doing. So that's why I don't usually measure kids with grown people. When people be like, you know this person is 16 or 17, so they're grown. It's not true. They're just not developed, like a grown-up is. Okay, they're not mentally. All right, they're just not. Usually kids don't even start developing, honestly, until they probably at 20 something, where they can be like, they can really like a grown-up. you know anyway, this family therapist and marriage counselor said that some people who have experienced broken relationships or traumatic incidents may learn to resort to behaviors like manipulation, aggression, or deceit to get their needs met. And that's one thing that I do notice a lot of times when you're dealing with a dude or either a woman who uses, hold on, y'all, I gotta turn this ear down some, who uses manipulation to get what they want. A lot of times they're like this because of their past experiences with other people, just like this lady is saying. If you are um, in a tripped out relationship sometime, you know, sometimes it makes people develop those traits of being a manipulative person, point blank. And a lot of these people too, sometimes some of these people tend to want to like be in control of everything in that relationship as well. You know what I'm saying? That's another form of manipulation. Trying to control everything a person does. You want to control what they wear, how they talk, who they talk to, who they're friends with, when they do certain things. You just want to control everything. That's just another form of manipulation, point blank. So in this article, they said manipulation isn't always easy to spot. In fact, at times, it can be like something that you cannot spot because they'll basically kind of be like sneaky with it. You know what I'm saying? Now, they gave an example. One is people who are antisocial. They have an antisocial personality disorder. And they may come off as being charming, but their goal may be to have control or harm you. And I know some people who come off as charming, but in reality, they're not as charming as they appear to be. They want to try to control you, by trying to tell you what you should and should not do, what you need to wear, what time you need to do this, how they want you to speak to them. Just they just be doing too much. You know what I'm saying? They do too much. Listen, it's okay to have a partner, and we're talking mostly about partners. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a woman or a man, it's okay to have a partner who is concerned about certain things. But see, for me, I think it's kind of strange when someone tries to change you into something that you're not, or they are trying to control you to be something that you're not, or something that you are not willing to do. That's not what a healthy relationship consists of anyway. When you are in a healthy relationship, yeah, you tell each other what your likes and dislikes are, but you don't try to, manipulate a person into doing what you want them to do. If that person is not right for you, or whatever the case is, you need to move on. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, if you are a manipulative person, it doesn't matter who you get with, okay? Because you're going to do these same things, and that's why you need to seek help, because you're never going to have a satisfying, loving relationship if you are stooping to being a manipulator. You see what I'm saying? Whether you are a female or a male. So let me give you some signs Well, let me give you 14 types of manipulations in relationships. Okay, number one is conceive control, taking charge of your schedule, money, or connections. I was just talking about that. I just didn't know the term for it. Yeah, when you have a person, whether it's a female or male, in a relationship, and this person is trying to make your schedule out for the day, tell you what they want you to do all day, counting your, telling you how to use your money, who you need to talk to, and things like that. That is a form of manipulation, point blank. It really is. They're trying to stop you from being out here having friends and things like that. You know why? So because a lot of times friends tell you they see things that you don't see, and they don't want these friends to tell you that this person is not good for you, or to let you know what they see that could be negative from this person. So a person who practices manipulation, they're going to steer you away from these type of friends, okay? And they're going to make you be more into them, or maybe even their friends, because their friends are not going to tell you that this guy or this girl is not good for you, point blank. And as far as taking charge of your schedule, you know good and well that is straight up a no-no, because no one should be telling you how to do things like that. You know, like when to wash your hair, when to take a bath, when you can go out, when, you know, all this other weird stuff that manipulative people do. That's just not good. The next one is changing the rules, making the finish line harder and harder to achieve, which is crazy because, like, you can meet people, right? And you guys can sit down and have realistic rules in a relationship and things like that. However, a manipulative person will sometimes sit down and make rules with you and listen to your rules, but they don't usually accomplish or even try to really achieve the rules that you set for them. What they do is want you to do what they set out for you to do, right? They want you to follow the rules, okay? And they don't really follow anything. They may pretend like they are following rules, but they're not. They just want you to do as they say, okay? While they are not willing to do anything you ask them to do, or any rules that you have out. They may partially achieve the rules that you set out, but they're not going to achieve those rules completely, but they want you to achieve all of those rules. Next one is emotional blackmail. They threatening to release information or abandoning you unless you know, do what they say do. And that's another form of manipulation, you know, threatening to show stuff, to reveal sensitive things that you told them, or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Or they threaten to leave you if you don't do what they tell you to do. Those are all signs of a manipulative person. Okay? Because in a real relationship where there is no manipulation involved, no one is going to threaten you, you know, if you don't do what they ask you to do, or if you don't follow all the rules, or whatever the case is. And they're certainly not going to be threatened to release any information about you or your relationship or anything sensitive that you guys have discussed or did together. That's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know people do this when they get mad and argue, but we're not talking about that type. We're talking about the actual relationship when it's going okay and everything. We're not talking about when you argue. Of course, when you are in an argument, you should not be still releasing and telling sensitive information to anybody. All right, point blank. You keep that stuff between you guys, you know, between yourselves. Point blank. The next one is gaslighting, denying or minimizing what you see, hear, feel, or know. And a lot of people who are manipulative, they use this right here very well. You know, they downplay so much. They tell you they're going to do certain things, like call you or any damn thing, and they don't do these things, okay? But they want you to do everything that you said you are going to do. They take gaslighting to a whole nother level. If it don't benefit them, a lot of times they just don't do certain things. The next one is guilt tripping, keeping score or reminding you of what you owe them, or they play the victim. Let me tell you something. Number five is a big, big thing. I hate people who play the victim role all the time. Somebody is always doing something to them. They never take accountability for their actions, or they're so damn crazy that they don't realize that they are the cause of whatever happened. Okay, or they played a role in it. That is another form of manipulation. Okay, because they already know that they played a role in whatever they did. Okay, they know this, or they were the sole person who caused something. But what they do, they try to make you feel guilty. They place all the blame on you, trying to make you feel like you are the one that has the problem. You are the one that made everything bad happen, when in reality either they did it themselves or either they played a role into the outcome. So that is what a lot of manipulative people do. They love to play that guilt tripping. They love to play like they are the victim of everything. I don't give a crap what happens. It's always someone else's fault. And they try to make you think it's your fault, when in reality, either it's both of you guys' fault or it's just maybe that person's fault. Now, sometimes it is your fault too, but I'm just saying what manipulative people do, okay? Point blank. The next one is isolation, trying to limit access to your inner circle or community. A lot of manipulative people do this. They want you all to themselves, not because they love you, it's because they want you to themselves, because they trying to keep you underneath their wings so they can control you and tell you how to do things so they can continue to use you and be manipulative toward you. Okay. When you have friends or you talk to people on the outside, they already know that these people will see certain things again and they will tell you, you know what I'm saying? He or she doesn't want this to happen. So therefore, they're going to keep you, without friends and stuff. And they're going to try to make you feel guilty if you want to go out there and have friends, if you want to hang out with your friends, if you want to talk to people on the phone or online. They're going to always say, if you're online, they're going to pretend like and act like you're online doing something you shouldn't do. That's what manipulative people do. They accuse you of doing stuff that you don't even do. A lot of times, manipulative people be doing the most. Okay, they will accuse you of cheating or talking to people online, when in reality, they are the ones that do this. Okay, that's what they do. The next one is lying. They like to lie, y'all. They omit parts of the truth or making up false information. And I'm gonna tell you, dealing with a couple of manipulative men, I'm gonna tell you straight up, they definitely do this. They lie, they make up shit. I mean, just lie for no apparent reason. Lie about stuff and you be knowing it's a lie, and they still insist on lying about it. And the thing about them, some of these people are so damn stupid. I hate to say this, they are so stupid. I be just like laughing to myself. And me, sometimes I don't tell people when I know they're lying. I just go ahead and play along with them. In reality, they're not fooling me. They're just fooling themselves, because I be knowing they're lying. Some of the lies that a manipulative person will do or use, it can be so damn crazy. You be like saying to yourself, what the hell is wrong with this person? Or it can be like petty lying, just lying about petty things. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. They also like to mix truth in with non-truth that throw you off. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, a manipulative person, um, I'm trying not to talk about other people, okay? Let's see. Let's see. Let me just put it like this, y'all. They just really be doing a lot of lying. Okay, point blank. Let me go to the next one. Love bombing. So yeah, they definitely do this. Overwhelming you with flattery and attention, and they do this because look, when a manipulative person wants to lure you in and keep you, you know, somewhat like interested or make you think that they are really head over heels for you, they're not doing it because they are really head over heels for you. They're doing it because they are doing it for a particular reason, and it's not like a positive reason. It's like for a negative reason, because they are basically using one of their manipulative tactics on you. That's the reason why they do this. Okay, if you are mad with a manipulative person, a lot of times they will start giving you so many compliments, um, a lot of attention for a minute, okay, until they wheel you back in or get whatever they want. Then they eventually start being what they truly are. Okay. All of this is a game for them. That's what they do. They do things like this. Like a lot of manipulative people, they will stay in a relationship, right? If you try to break up with them, they'll use that little love bombing to win you back. And then later on, they'll start pulling back away. And when they feel like it's done, they will be the one that pull out of it. Because a lot of manipulative people, as well as narcissist people, they want to be the one to end everything because it seems like they are the ones that it seems like they it gives them that control that they want, and that's why they want to be the one to terminate the relationship, to say the relationship is back on, okay? Because they like control. The next one is passive aggression. Oh yeah, expressing anger indirectly, like backhanded compliments. Now let me tell you something. I meet a lot of people that do this, not just men, but definitely a couple women that I know. They definitely do the backhanding compliments. Like for example, they may say, even though you look good in that dress, even though you're big, it's you kind of big, you know, who would say this? But I do have a couple of friends that talk like this. Okay. I really do. As far as like a dude or something, I don't remember any dude ever doing this. Um, but I do know some manipulative men do express anger indirectly in other ways other than backhanded compliments. Okay. So those are just some things you have to look out for when you're dealing with people who are manipulative. You know what I'm saying? You really do, whether it's a woman or man. The next one is projection, accusing you of doing what they are doing. That's another thing. I just said that before. A lot of people who are manipulative, they will accuse you of things like cheating, like just so many weird shit. And then in reality, this is what they are doing. And I don't understand why they do this, but they do it all the time. And I have met dudes that do this, okay? They will accuse you. You cannot even cheat. And they will accuse you of cheating. Okay. You can be on social media just innocently doing things. And I'm telling you, they will accuse you of cheating or talking to people to cheat. I mean, it's like something is wrong with some of these damn people who are manipulative. You know what I'm saying? It's like something is wrong with them because you're like, where do they get this stuff at? But the reason why they say they are manipulative because they know that you're not doing anything. They're just using this tactic because they are doing this and they are trying to make you not know that they're cheating. You know what I'm saying? Because you're too busy focusing on trying to prove to them that you are not cheating. So again, it's just another tactic that they use, to get away with whatever they're doing and to keep on manipulating you and stuff like that. The next one is the silent treatment. They definitely are good at this. They ignore your attempts at communication, meaning if you guys have an argument, they usually walk away, don't talk. If you guys are not living together or anything, they may not call you. They try to avoid you, because again, that's another form of control and another form of manipulation. If you live in a house with this person, they may ignore you all day, go to another room or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not talking about if you guys get into an argument and you just cooling off from each other and giving each other time to calm down so nothing harmful won't be said or so nobody won't end up hitting somebody or something like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who like to play this type of game. Okay, manipulators, point blank. Okay. The next one is smear campaign, talking badly about you behind your back to others. A lot of manipulative people love to do this all the damn time, have you thinking that they really truly care for you, but they will be out there talking about you to somebody else. Okay, because a lot of manipulative people don't really give a damn about nobody but themselves. That's on everything. Okay, they don't really love anybody. They just love themselves. Okay, you cannot convince me that somebody who uses manipulation like this is in love with you. You know what I'm saying? You just can't. The next one is triangulation, pulling in a third party to try to persuade you to do something. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up, I have definitely dealt with that. Okay. Okay. Whether it's pulling in a third party to try to get you to reconnect with the person or start talking to the person again or to date this person again or whatever the case is. I have definitely dealt with that. And a lot of manipulative people use this tactic to get you back or to get you to do something. And if they're trying to get you to do something that's not something that you want to do or goes against your morals or your judgment, that's not a good thing. Or put you in some type of danger or, doing something like that. Just like these people who want you to do something. And then if you say no, then they get mad. That's another form of manipulation. Because when you're in a respectful, fair, loving, for real relationship, even if you ask your partner to do something and your partner is like hesitant to do it because they feel like it may be harmful or it's something they just don't want to do because it goes against their judgment or like I said, it could be harmful. A loving, sincere partner won't get mad about this. Point blank. They will understand. They will understand why you don't want to do something. Point blank. Okay? Not use manipulative tactics, to get you back because you don't want to do something that they ask you to do. All right. The next one is triggering your insecurities. In other words, putting down or casting insults disguised as jokes. Now, Grant, let me tell you something. I know a lot of people do this, including myself at times with people and things like this. Um, it's not that all the time you're trying to trigger people insecurities. Like if you're arguing with someone, I mean, it's not right, but both people go back and forth, trying to mess with each other. But we're talking about if a person is doing this all the time, especially like your friends or if you're in a relationship and the other person is constantly putting you down or casting insults to you, pretending like they're jokes. Okay. That's another sign of a manipulative person. Okay. I mean, a loving person is not going to do this continuously. Like I said, at times, everybody jokes together. You have arguments and you may say things and put each other down. But if somebody is continuously doing this, like if they have a disagreement with you and the first thing they're doing is calling you stupid or just saying stupid stuff like that, even when they joking around, you know what I'm saying? It's just not good. It's another form of manipulation. If you make a person feel insecure about themselves and things like that, it's sometimes harder for this person to have the strength to, leave the person. Okay, because they start thinking that nobody else wants them. They're not good enough for anybody else. They can't do certain things. I think this right here is something that a lot of people, especially women, go through when they are married or in a relationship with a person that's abusive. A lot of them do use that tactic of trying to tear a person down and make them insecure about themselves. That's why a lot of these type of women in particular find it very hard to leave from these type of relationships because they feel like they cannot do anything or they feel like they can't do anything. They feel like they can't take care of their family. They feel like they are a failure because sometimes they be thinking these men are hitting them because of something that they did. It's just a lot of stuff. So a lot of these manipulative men and women like to use that triggering your insecurities because they know when they tear down the structure, they can really use that manipulation on you to almost make you do whatever they want you to do. And that's on everything. And they were saying in this article that A consistent pattern of manipulation can often form in childhood. All right. Um, they say if someone learns early on that they can't get their needs met directly, they may have they may have to source other ways to feel safe emotionally, physically, and beyond. So a lot of these people who have a childhood like that, they grow up to be manipulative. So they say if a manipulative person grew up in a home characterized by, a lot of people being in competition, a lot of conflict, this can carry with them into adulthood. If they were abandoned by a parent or a caretaker, they can crave attention as an adult and may manipulate to achieve it. And you know what? I hate to say this, a lot of men in particular use that tactic, especially a lot of these men do this, and some of these rich men do this as well. You know what I'm saying? And I know they do because I have met some, and they use all type of manipulations, to get a person to get with them or whatever the case is. Also, some mental health conditions and interpersonal styles can be associated with what is this constant manipulative behaviors, although it is also possible to still be manipulative without a mental health condition. Some of those conditions could be ASPD, which is antisocial personality disorder. In other words, using a fake persona to get into your circle. Okay, that I have, I definitely have came in contact with. For real, for real, for real. The next one is borderline personal personality disorder, also known as BPD, taking frantic efforts to avoid abandonment, codependency, using strategies to manage people around you, um, histrionic personality disorder, HPD, using appearance to acquire validation. I have came in contact with that as well. Insecure attachment style, that's using a breakup as a test of someone's loyalty. Yeah, I definitely came in contact with that as well. The next one is narcissistic personality disorder, also called NPD, using projection to shift the blame to you. Definitely this. Substance use disorder, also called SUD, using an excuse to acquire funds for a substance. And thank God I have never encountered that one. All right. And they say, yes, manipulation can be a form of psychological and emotional abuse. The victim of a manipulator will often question their own sanity and feel like they are the problem. Let me tell you something. That's one thing I stopped myself from doing because I had already realized that I was dealing with a manipulator. So I refuse to question my own sanity and think that I was the problem because I already knew who the problem was, okay? Because I know what a manipulator is, okay? And I know the signs of it already. So I already knew. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, due to the abuse, the person would often live in fear and report they are constantly walking on eggshells. That's another thing too. A lot of manipulative people will have you walking around like that, especially the ones who um, don't want you to talk a certain way, and they get crazy every time you say little bitty things to them, or if you don't say things correctly to them, they start acting crazy. For me, I refuse to walk on eggshells because I'm like, again, I don't know who some of these people think they are talking to, you know what I'm saying, and who they think is stupid. This is why I feel like it was very important to go over this subject again tonight and tell you guys the signs of it so you too can know. So you won't be walking around on eggshells if you are dealing with a person that's very, that's manipulative. Okay? Because they will have you walking around like that if you don't understand what a manipulator is and know the signs of it, okay, and know how to deal with it, or just leave that person alone altogether. You know what I'm saying? Because they will have you walking around on eggshells. If you say the wrong thing to them, they act like little babies and every damn thing else. Some of them do, not all of them. And they want you to talk to them all sweet, but they're not willing to do the same thing back in return. And then they'd be overdoing it as well. Okay. They overdo every damn thing. Anyway, this research shows that being on the receiving end of emotional manipulation can lead to anxiety, depression, increased stress, a low life satisfaction, low self esteem, and social withdrawal. And that's why it is not really good to maintain a relationship with a manipulative person. Okay, because they really can tear things down, especially if you don't know how to deal with one, or you don't know the signs, or you are not strong enough. That's why for me, I'm strong enough in everything, but for me, it's like this for me. Why would you be dealing with someone that's like this when there are 50,000 other people that you can deal with that are not manipulative? Okay. So why even go through all of this? Okay. I mean, as soon as you can get yourself away, actually, it's not as soon as you can get yourself away from it. Is if you know that you are with a person that's like this, you need to start up a plan in your mind. What you need to do is set forth that plan. Because why put yourself through all of this stress and everything else that these people cause when you can find someone that won't be manipulative, that is not just out for themselves, that is not trying to control you and do weird shit, put you down, make you insecure, and just cause all types of emotional problems and just mental problems and sometimes physical problems. Why even deal with that when you can find someone that's not? So for me, I think when you're dealing with people like this, especially if it's like a partner or something, it's just sometimes it's just best to try to figure out how you can get away from this person. Even with friends, sometimes when you have manipulative friends that are draining, you know what I'm saying? It's time to let that friendship go, and you have to figure out a way to do that as well. Because I have let go a couple of friends who fit that criteria because I can't deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Because they do too much. Okay. So they say if you find yourself resorting to manipulation in a relationship, you may find it helpful to seek cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Okay. Now, if you are the target of manipulation or you are experiencing narcissistic abuse, it's highly advisable that you reach out for professional support, okay, and get away from these people. Because I'm telling you, they will have you going absolutely nuts, especially if you don't know how to deal with these type of people. And again, even if you do know how to deal with it, why? There's too many people out here. It's too many fish in the sea, especially when you're talking about a partner. It's also too many other friends that you can have. Okay, why live your life complicated? Stressful, in a negative manner, dealing with people who are controlling, who are manipulators, people who consistently lie about everything, deceitful to the core, people who tries to control you, control everything in your life, people who you can never satisfy. It's like if something is not done the way they want you to do it, I mean, even if you do it the way they want you to do it, they're still going to make up an excuse that is not right. So they can never be satisfied. So why deal with these type of people? It's not a happy life. And you'll end up, going through some of these things, anxiety, depression, increased stress levels, a low life satisfaction, low self-esteem, social withdrawal. Who wants to do all of these things? Go through all these things, dealing with somebody that does not even deserve your time, your patience, your love, nothing from you. Okay. So again, if you find yourself using manipulation in your relationships, whether it's in a friend relationship or definitely if with a partner, you may find it help to seek cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Okay. And talk to somebody and get the help that you need because something is wrong with you if you are going around here manipulating every damn body that you come around. And certainly in a relationship, something is not right upstairs. And if you are in a relationship that you're experiencing this or even narcissistic abuse, you need to reach out for professional support. And sometimes you have to reach out and get your ass up out of there, especially when you're dealing with narcissistic abuse as well. Because a lot of manipulators are narcissistic. And you guys already know what that is. There's different type of narcissistic people. And some of these narcissistic people are dangerous, just like some manipulative people are dangerous. Okay, they do all types of tactics, and sometimes they can put you in dangerous situations and ask you to do things that are dangerous. Okay, all right. So again, I got that information, guys, from Psyche Central. All right, .com, and this Lauren Massapus, I think I said her name right, a licensed marriage and family therapist in Roseville, California. This is one of her articles. Okay. Okay. So hold on for a second, guys. Go get you something to drink real quick. Let me go get these clothes out the dryer and I'll be right back. We're going to take a little break real quick. Hold on for 1 second, guys. Take a little. Let me put this back up here. Turn this music back down. We are back to do part 2 of this live, where we are going to be talking about the 10 questions you should not answer if you are pulled over by the cops. Okay, hold on. Y'all don't forget to thumbs up this video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, hit the bell notifications so you can be notified of all videos. All right. I don't expect for you to watch every video either. Someone just sent me a message today. She was like, she was trying to watch my videos, but she can't watch all of them. I told her, girl, you do not have to watch all of my videos. Just, watch 1, 2, or whatever, just like I do with you. Because I don't never try to watch people, every video a person puts up, because for one thing, I be busy. You know what I'm saying? So I cannot watch videos like that. If I wasn't driving around, a lot of videos that I listen to while I'm driving, I wouldn't even be able to listen to those if I was working a regular job. You know what I'm saying? So I don't expect for someone to sit up here and watch every video that I do. I do different type of videos anyway. That's the reason why I do. If you don't like watching these lives, just check out my shopping hauls on Saturday or either Sunday. If you don't like watching hauls, check out my walkthroughs, or if I put up a fun video of something fun that I did. And if you like talk show stuff, you can watch Monday through Fridays at about about 7:30 And sometimes I do them earlier. Okay. And that's just how it is. But I don't expect nobody to sit here and watch these videos every single day or all day or whatever the case is. So I told that person that. But anyway, this is part 2 of this live, guys. We are going to be talking about um, 10 questions you should not answer if the police pull you over. Okay. Let me go ahead and get this real quick. Here we go. Wait a minute. Hold on for a minute. Y'all have to find it. So here we go right here. Okay. Well, this is going to be quick because we've been on here for 45 minutes. I'm only going to try to do an hour or maybe an hour and 10 minutes. All right. Because it's kind of late. Anyway, so when you see those flashing red and blue lights in your rear view mirror, a lot of times it makes people's heart skip a beat. Even if you think you have done nothing wrong, sometimes people still get scared when they are being stopped by the popo. Excuse me, guys. Anyway, but knowing what questions you are not obligated to answer can make the experience less stressful and at the same time protect your rights. Okay, so here is a guide to the questions that should set off your internal do not answer alarm. Now, this comes from mediafeed.org, and this is a lawyer that is talking in this article. Okay, this is not coming from some internet foolishness or people pretending to be lawyers or weird shit like this. This is coming from an actual lawyer. All right, here we go. So this is by Casey Lee, all right? And they just actually wrote this on October the 26th, 2023. All right. Number one, the police may come to your car and say, "Can I search your car?" The Fourth Amendment, the guardian of our personal spaces. Remember, unless there is probable cause, you have every right to politely decline a search of your car, even if you have nothing to hide. If the police do not have a warrant, they cannot search you or your car without your consent. That's only though if there is no probable cause. Because, say, for example, if the police stop you and they smell your car smelling like drugs, then that's probable cause. If the police stop you and you are drunk or have alcohol on your breath, that's probable cause. Or it's a lot of other probable causes that I can use too. But use common sense, okay? Use common sense when you are being stopped by the police, all right? Point blank. So if they have probable cause, you have to let them search your vehicle. But if they don't have probable cause, and I mean for real probable cause, you can exercise your Fourth Amendment, point blank. Okay, number two, if he say, "Where are you coming from?" Okay, while it might appear as a casual chit chat, answering this question can have unintended implications. Law enforcement might use your response to build a case around the idea that you were in a location associated with illegal activity. For example, if you were coming home from a neighborhood known for drug trafficking, your answer could set the stage for further scrutiny and potentially an unwarranted search. Because if you're telling the police that you just came from this location and just say they know it's a drug area, then right then and there they're gonna want to search your car because they thinking that you had probably went to this area to go buy drugs or even sell drugs. Anyway, under the Fifth Amendment, you have the right to remain silent and not offer any information that might be self-incriminating. Remember, you can simply and politely decline to answer all questions like that. All right. Number three, have you been drinking? Anyway, they say there's no right answer to this question. Acknowledging that you have had even one drink can give the police reason to administer field sobriety tests or want to get into further investigation. But on the flip side, lying could lead to other complications if the test shows that are you have had too much alcohol in your system. Let's see. So they said so it's better to just not say anything. Okay. They say again that the Fifth Amendment for letting us remain silent to avoid self incrimination. Trust your constitutional wingman and opt for discretion over confession. So they're basically telling you to say not say anything. But let me tell you something. If they know that you are drunk because they smell a lot of alcohol on you, whatever case is, um, if you don't take that test, they are going to, arrest you. So I don't know how you would. You may want to talk to your lawyer about that or whatever the case is, because even if you take tests and it's over a certain level, they probably are still going to arrest you. So it's just like this. Simply, just don't drink and drive like that. Don't be having too many drinks and then go out there and drive. Because the thing is that when you are driving intoxicated or nearly intoxicated, you can put other people's lives in jeopardy just like you can put yours in jeopardy. Okay, you definitely don't want to end up hitting someone and hurting someone or killing someone, because you are under the influence of alcohol. You know what I'm saying? So use common sense. If you had one too many drinks, you should not be driving. That's what Uber and Lyft or friends are for. Use common sense. A lot of people get in trouble because they don't use common sense. Why put yourself in certain situations when you know what can happen? I never in my life understood that, and I still don't understand that. I be listening to like other YouTubers. They talk about certain things, especially about the justice system is set up to keep Black people incarcerated and things like this. And I'm like saying to myself, that is true in some respect. But the thing about it, at the same time, why do certain people do certain things to put themselves in that situation to be in that system? If you know that you are already dealing with racism and a lot of other drawbacks, why do things to put yourself in a position where they can basically practice any type of racism on you and further set you back? I don't understand why people do stuff. Just like I said, if you know you had more than one drink or whatever your state law is regarding, alcohol consumption and driving, you should not be drinking more than that. Period. Because there is a slight possibility that you may get stopped. Also, it's also a slight possibility that you can hit somebody, hit them in a car, hit them when they're walking across the street, and then you go into jail. Plus, you didn't hurt or kill this person because you are drunk driving. So why even put yourself in that position? Okay, and that's just on everything. The next one, again, so if you are stopped, you know, um, and they're asking you that you have a drink, you may just not want to say anything. All right, because they say there's no right answer to this question. Me, if I know, listen, if I was a drunk, okay, and even if I wasn't a drunk, but just say I had a bunch of alcohol at a party or something, and I know that I got caught driving, I'm just gonna tell the truth. Because why do shit if you can't face the thing? Okay, I mean, self-incriminate my ass because if I take a field sobriety test, it's gonna show that I'm fucked up. So why even lie about it? I'll be like, okay, yeah, I had this. Okay, so hell, I'm guilty. What's the point of going through everything? You might as well get ready to get arrested and everything else. Because what's the point if they're gonna take a test and find out that you are already fucked up in the first place? Okay, so that's stupid. That's what I'm talking about. So for me, if you know you didn't have but one drink and the police tripping out, then you need to be quiet. Okay. They say don't really say anything. Okay. So they say just exercise the Fifth Amendment. Okay. So remain silent to avoid self-incrimination. And if you remain silent and you refuse to take that sobriety test or whatever the case is, you know what's going to happen next. So there's no reason for you to be acting like you don't know. If you don't know, you need to look in the law books and it'll tell you what's going to happen in your state law books, and then it'll tell you what's going to happen. Like out here in Cali, I think if you refuse that, Okay, they're going to arrest you. So if you don't want to take anything, you're going to remain silent until you talk to your lawyer or whatever the case is. Just be willing to probably go to jail that day. Now, if you know for sure that you only had that one drink and you know your numbers or however you breathing that in a point or whatever, however they rate that is not going to be up to that level, then you can go ahead and say, whatever you want to say and get out and do that sobriety test because you know the your level is not going to go over that limit and nothing won't happen, because they can't really lie because they have to show that, they have to show proof. But don't lie because that can lead to, that's why they say be quiet. Okay? If you know your ass is effed up, you don't sit up there and be running your damn mouth. Just be quiet and exercise the Fifth Amendment. Do not self-incriminate yourself by telling somebody, them that, oh, y'all, I've just had 3 or 4 drinks, 5 or 6 or 7, 8. Don't say shit. You're still going to jail, okay? And that's on everything. You're still going to jail in most places. But if they do the field sobriety test and it comes out that you're messed up, you are still going to jail and they're going to impound your car and everything, point blank. So that's why I say you shouldn't just not be drinking like that and driving, point blank. The next one is when they come to your car and say, do you know why I pulled you over? And then they say, even though this question is innocent, they say answering this could be a legal minefield. They said the officer is not just making small talk. Your response could be seen as an admission of guilt, making it easier to justify a ticket or further your investigation. So let me stop right there. I remember when the police stopped me a while ago, a long time ago, when I used to live in Georgia. And he was like, do you know, I actually asked him, why did he stop me? And he said that I was speeding. I said, no, I wasn't speeding. He said he clocked me. I said, well, you know what? You clocked the wrong car. Okay, that's what I told him because you didn't clock my car. I never speed. So I didn't keep on going back and forth with this cop either. I just be quiet after that because I knew I wasn't speeding and I was going to let him go ahead and give me that ticket, you know, because I knew when I was going to, if I go to court, then I'm going to let the judge know I do not speed at all. He definitely had to clock another car. My son is a police officer and he already told me that sometimes they be wrong. And I would have told the judge this, but fortunately, this cop who was very professional did not give me the ticket because he know that he did not clock my car. And I didn't get out acting all crazy and shit and start talking stupid and shit and talking about I know my rights. I did ask him why did he stop me, and he was telling me why he stopped me, and I said no, I was not speeding, and you obviously clocked the wrong car. And then after that, that was it for me. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, in this article right here, they said don't be saying anything. They said your right to avoid self incrimination comes to play here. While you do have to provide identification, you don't have to volunteer any information that might lead to your own legal jeopardy. You can politely decline to answer the question. Instead, you could respond with something like, no, officer, why did you pull me over? And that's something that I always use. I'd be like, no, I don't know why you stopped me, but why did you pull me over? You know, and that way you put that back out to them so they can explain, you know, why they did it without you admitting. You know what I'm saying? Because what did I just say? I asked the officer why did he pull me over. He didn't even. I don't even think he had a chance to tell me anything. Because I think as soon as he came to the car, I asked him why did he pull me over. You know what I'm saying? He told me too. You know, and I was like, well, no, 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 I don't never speed. You know, and I didn't speed that day. You clearly must have clocked another car. And then he was like, no. I said, no, you guys do make a mistake doing that. My son is a police officer. He told me that you guys can clock other cars and stuff. But anyway, I didn't get a ticket, and that's just what it is. Okay, so the next one is do you have any weapons in the car? So this is what they're saying on this. They said the officer may be trying to gauge the level of risk involved in the stop. In other words, he may be trying to determine the level of risk to him, you know, because sometimes people do look like they will take out weapons and shoot somebody, and he's just trying to figure it out. But they said admitting to having a weapon in the car might give them the pretext to search your car without a warrant. Because remember, if you tell them they have a you have a weapon, then that's going to give them probable cause to search your car, and that could lead to more complications. Okay, so they said the Fourth Amendment protects against unreasonable searches and seizures, and the Second Amendment upholds your right to bear arms if you have that legally. Okay, this creates a complex legal landscape when it comes to weapons in your car. If you are carrying legally, you might be required by state law to disclose that information to the police. And that's why you have to check your laws. However, you are not obligated to consent to a search of your car. Okay? So for me, if I know that I have a gun in the car and I have it legally, it doesn't, and I know I haven't done anything for real, it doesn't bother me to say, yeah, I have a gun in the car legally, it's registered, it's mine, it's legally, and blase, blase. And they can search my car because I don't do drugs, I'm not selling them or anything else. Okay. But if you know that you have a gun and it's illegal, they said that you should respond with a question like this: do you have a reason to believe that, officer? They said it's crucial to keep that dialogue directed toward understanding the reason for their inquiry rather than volunteering information that could be used against you later. So even if you have it legally, you can say that, but if you certainly have it illegally, they're telling you to say that. Um, Now, I got a problem with that because the officer probably will say, yeah, I do have a reason to believe that you may have a gun in your car. So I'm going to ask you again, do you have a weapon in your car? So if you know that you have a gun in your car illegally and they already suspect that you have one in the car, yeah, you can still go to that amendment. But the thing about it, you're already creating a probable cause for them to search your car by that time because you're probably already acting suspicious. So that's going to create an alarm bell going off to them. So if you know you have a gun in your car illegally, uh, unless you just committed a crime, I don't know what you're going to do then. But if you know you didn't commit a crime or anything, you just have it in there illegally and you don't have no warrants or anything, the best thing is always to tell the truth. It's just point blank. For me, it is. Because if you say no, and by this time they already kind of figure that you're lying, they're going to still search your car because they're going to say they have probable cause because of the way you are acting, if you are sweating, if you're looking like you are lying, you know, that can be probable cause. So this one right here is very tricky. If you have a gun in a car, they ask you that, because like they say, you are not obligated to consent to a search of your car. Okay. But they did say if you are carrying a gun and it's legal, you might be required by state to disclose this information to the police. So you have to check out your state laws regarding that. I think out here in Cali, you do have to tell them that you have a weapon in the car. If it's legal, of course, you're probably going to be saying that if it's illegal, but if it's legal, you should be telling them that because you do have your right to bear arms. Okay. But if you have a gun illegally, um, for me, I think I would probably just still just say, yeah, I do, because um, they're going to still search the car anyway. Okay. Unless you plan on running or something like that, which is stupid, you know. So they said, like I just said, if you do have it in there legally, I guess illegal too, I don't know, but definitely if you have it in there legally, you can say, do you have a reason to believe that, officer? Even if it was illegal, I'm sure you probably could say, do you have a reason to believe that? But then again, that's going to bring up the thing to the officer is going to be like, yeah, I have a reason to believe that, or whatever the officer may say. And then if you're acting suspicious and shit, that's going to give them probable cause to go ahead and search the entire car and tell you to get out. So for me, I think, just making the situation worse. For me, I think if you have a GUN in the car illegal, to me, I think you probably should just let them know that you have it in there, because unless you just did a murder or something like that, then you're on your own with that one. You know what I'm saying? You probably shouldn't even got caught. Or if you did some other type of crime, then you're on your own with that. You just have to do whatever you think. But as far as a person just having a weapon illegally, if the cop catches you, you don't have any warrants. Even if you have warrants, it's just better sometimes since you already just got caught to go ahead and it depends on you have to look at the officer's body language as well. A lot of times they give off certain body language as well that will let you know that they don't believe you. Okay, so why keep on carrying it out if it's like a just roundabout question and you say, just say for example, the cop be like, do you have a gun in the car? And you be like, do you have a reason to believe that, officer? You just like that said it immediately. Then they may be like, I don't know. Then they may be like, oh, I'm just asking. Then you make it say, okay, and leave it at that. I wouldn't say no if you have one in the car. I'll just be like, okay, and then go from there. You know, you could just be quiet after that, I guess. But I mean, again, then I think you would still be giving them probable cause because they wonder why you're not saying anything, and then they may still search your car. So this one right here is kind of hard. You may want to talk to your lawyer regarding that one because it's kind of hard. They even said in this article, and this is a lawyer talking. He says it right here, or she says it right here, that this one right here could be a little bit different. It just depends. It depends on your state law. It just depends on the situation, period. Okay? Because I have never, out of all the times the police ever stopped me, they have never asked me, do I have a weapon in the car? And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. One time I did have one in the car. Okay? It was right underneath my thigh. That was when the highway patrol stopped me a couple of years ago here out in Cali. Okay, so, but he never asked me, did I have a weapon in the car? So, of course, I'm not going to volunteer no information. I just, I can't even remember. What did he say when he came to my car? He was like, do you know why I stopped you? I said, no, I don't know why you stopped me. So, why did you stop me? That's what I asked him in a polite, professional manner. And he told me why he stopped me. I was like, oh, why I did not know that speed limit on this in this area is only 10 or 5 miles per hour. And he was like, yeah, it is because it's he said, you know why? I said, no. He said, because it's a retirement community. I said, oh, okay. I didn't even realize that because everybody I see be going way faster than that. So I just basically assumed that the speed limit was about 20, or 25. I forgot what I said today. And he was like, no, it's only 10 or 5 miles per hour. He was like, make sure, he said he was not going to give me a ticket this day. He's just going to give me a warning, but make sure that when I go through this area, like again, or any area like this, where it's a retirement community, look at the signs to make sure what the speed limit is and just make sure I go at that speed limit because like the next highway patrol officer may just go ahead and give me a ticket. That's what he said. And that was it. I did not give this officer any reason to believe that I had any weapons, so therefore he did not ask. Okay, point blank. And just say if he would have asked me, did I have a weapon in the car? I would have said, yes, I do have a weapon in the car because I didn't do nothing illegal besides speeding. That's it. I don't have warrants or anything else. Excuse me. Why make a situation worse when you know it's only one thing that you do have? If it's illegal. Mine wasn't, but I'm just saying if it is illegal. Why make a situation worse? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's go to the next one. They may ask you, who is this person with you? Okay, so they say you are not required to disclose the identity of or relationship of passengers in your car. According to the Fifth Amendment, you have the right to remain silent to avoid self-incrimination. And this extends to identifying others who might be implicated in a perceived or real legal issue. Remember, Your passengers also have Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights. Your answer might lead to their being questioned or searched, which can complicate matters even more, especially if they have anything to hide. Now, a more cautious approach would be to respectfully inform the officers or officer that you are not required to answer the question. This could be phrased as, I don't believe I am obligated to answer that question, officer. Anyway, by not revealing unnecessary information, you are maintaining your own legal protections as well as those of your passengers. Number seven, if they ask you, is this your correct address? Anyway, they say some may argue that you are obligated to provide identification, but giving more details than that might not be necessary. Tread carefully. The Fourth Amendment protects against unreasonable searches and seizures. Sharing your address could potentially give law enforcement additional avenues for investigation or surveillance that you are not legally obligated to provide. It is best to remember that you have the right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment, and you can politely decline to answer. And they just told you what to say. What did they say? Say again. Let's see. Just politely decline to answer. Because you don't want to. You're not trying to. You're exercising your rights to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment. The next one is, have you ever been arrested? Although it may seem like a casual conversation, your answer could be used against you in various ways, impacting how the police officer treats you during the interaction. Importantly, the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution protects you from self incrimination, meaning you are under no obligation to answer this or similar questions. By choosing to remain silent or politely stating that you do not wish to answer, you can better preserve your rights without providing any information that may be detrimental to you. Now, sometimes some of these things, not that right there shouldn't get you arrested, but like some things that you refuse to answer when a cop asks you, depending on the state that you're in or live in or whatever the case is that you're in at that particular time, sometimes they arrest you if you don't answer certain questions. So make sure you find out about your laws, okay? Point blank. The next one is, where are you going? Now, this question is a trap. The police are trying to see if you will admit to having a plan to commit a crime. Take the Fifth Amendment and remain silent. They didn't say anything else but just be quiet. Okay? Refuse to answer that question. Don't say, I refuse to answer. Just remain silent because you're exercising your amendment rights. Okay? And I believe that is what? The Fifth Amendment. Okay? And the final one. The final one is, what are you doing in this neighborhood? Now, this one is often a hot button issue because it can carry implications of racial profiling or, you know, discriminatory policing. Okay. The 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution grants you equal protection under the law, which means you should not be questioned purely based on your appearance or the neighborhood you are in. Okay? The Fifth Amendment also protects you from self incrimination, meaning you don't have to answer questions that could potentially incriminate you. If asked this question, it's entirely within your rights to politely decline to answer. Your location in a neighborhood generally generally isn't something you need to explain to law enforcement unless they have a specific and legal justifiable reason for asking. Okay, a lot of times police hide behind that one by saying that you fit the description of somebody or saying some stuff like that. When in reality, sometimes they just be doing racial discrimination and things like that. They be doing racial. What's the name? I forgot how you what this. What did I say that was racial? Just let me look and see, y'all. I forgot. Racial. Let me find that. Oh, they doing racial profiling or discriminatory policing. That's what they're doing a lot of times. Okay, so you definitely have to be really alert in regards to that when they ask you, why are you in this neighborhood? Or what are you doing in this neighborhood? Because to me, if a cop asks me that, I'm already automatically thinking he's been, racial. And at the same time, they still say um, you can have the right to remain silent or politely decline to answer. Basically, you're not saying nothing, okay? Because you don't want to um, self-incriminate yourself, okay? Point blank, and they should not even be asking you that unless they have some type of reason, a justifiable reason for asking you that. A legal, justifiable reason, not just because you look poor and you don't look like you can afford this neighborhood, okay? Or some shit like that. That is crazy. Okay, so those are 10 questions you should not answer if you are pulled over by the police. Okay, a few of them you can answer if you choose to. It just depends on your situation, also on your state laws. I would advise you to get familiarized with your laws there, especially if you own a gun or even if you don't. Um, if you drink or you know yeah, if you drink, or if you're in a car with somebody that drinks, because you need to know these things. You know what I'm saying? Just in case the police pull you over, you'll know what to say. You'll know if you should say anything. Because again, in some states, if they pull you over and you are intoxicated, or if they believe that you are like intoxicated, and they offer you that sobriety test and you decline, a lot of times they arrest you. So make sure you know your state laws regarding all of that and go from there and talk to your lawyer and things like that, okay? That's just the safest thing to do. Let me read a couple of these comments because some of them are a joke. This one person said, I have found that if you are polite and respectful to the officer, you usually have better results. And remember, if you are on probation, at least in Georgia, you give up your Fourth Amendment rights against search and seizures as a condition of the probation. So I'm glad to know that. And it may be the same thing in Cali, but I'm not on probation. But if you are on probation or maybe even parole, I don't know. That's why I say you need to look at your laws. If you are in that system, you got off because you are on probation or parole, you better learn your laws there, okay? Because if the police stop you and your Fourth Amendment rights are, you gave up those rights to that, then shit, you just better make sure you're not carrying. If you're on probation, I don't think you're even supposed to have a weapon. So make sure you're just not having it in your car or have anybody in the car that has. Okay, that's just to be safe. You know what I'm saying? Or in your house or anything else, because if they can come and search stuff, I didn't even know this. And then also make sure you're not drinking, drunk driving. Or just sometimes if you drink too much alcohol, you don't necessarily be drunk. It's just too much. Learn what your state legal limits are, in regards to driving. Okay, so it's all about learning things. Okay, so you can know. Let's see. Let's see here. Somebody said a lot of times people do have an ego, not just the cops, but sometimes people do too. Okay, so this one person said, I have been pulled over 3 or 4 times in my very old lifetime. And every time I roll my window down, I put my hands on the steering wheel and I say, Good evening, officer. How can I help you? And I let them guide the conversation. I don't volunteer information and I don't answer many of their questions. I am polite and as helpful as I can be. Some of the questions come, I answer with, Why would you ask me that? That's the same thing that I'll be doing too, y'all. Okay, I'll be like, Why are you asking me this? And blase, blase. And that's it. And I do stay professional and all that. Yeah, somebody said, I find if you make them laugh, they are more likely to let you go on your own way. Or if you be nice a lot of times. I mean, just I think sometimes they be looking at the looks too, okay? I'm gonna be perfectly honest about that, okay? And just how you act, and if you acting suspicious, if you all nervous and acting crazy and shit, they be like, what the hell this person acting like this? We may need to check them more in depth because they looking very suspicious and shit, you know. If you like even like, in certain neighborhoods, I don't really have no problems about that or anything. But again, I do think that they look at certain things to try to figure out if you belong in this neighborhood, which they shouldn't do that. But I think they do that a lot. You know what I'm saying? Um, and not just with black people, it be with white people as well. Because I have seen, I live in mostly white area, okay, and I have seen the police, do certain things, with certain people, not just black people, but with white people as well, especially if they look like they are poor or homeless or something like that. They be doing. Sometimes they do the most. You know what I'm saying? And especially if they don't think they are supposed to be in this area. So it just depends. I think it all depends. Which they shouldn't do this, but some of them do it, and that's just on everything. They really do. Let's see. Okay, this dude said, I'm not a criminal and have nothing to hide. Been asked questions. I asked the cop questions back and have actually had some cool conversation with cops pulling me over and can't remember the last time I got a ticket. Well, dude, you're white and I'm black and I can say the same thing. Okay, every time the police have ever pulled me over, I basically have never really gotten a ticket, except maybe twice. Okay, I got a ticket in an ATL one time after many times being stopped and never got one. And that's because my ass was speeding 95 miles per hour. Okay, on the freeway though. It was just too fast. Okay. I was driving a little sport car, just driving fast, trying to make it to an interview and back to my job in time. So I got a ticket then, but I still was professional. The cop was too. And that's just the end of the story. I didn't get arrested either. So that was a good thing. He just told me you driving just too damn fast. Okay. And then I got stopped one time out of no, I got stopped many times in DFW because the tag was out of town and my soon to be ex did not get the registration changed over quick enough. But every time I got stopped, they was nice to me and stuff. They didn't give me a ticket. Um, I basically told them what had happened and stuff, and that's they just told me to make sure I heard to get my tag switched over and was telling me how to do it and stuff like that. That he did not need to be here and stuff like that. And then the one cop that did give me the ticket was a rookie cop. He had just started and stuff. He told me he had to give me the ticket because I don't know if they knew that he stopped me or whatever the case is. But he was trying to explain. Ended up giving my kids some cop little baseball type cars with all of them on there and stuff. And him and I talked for a long time and stuff. He wasn't tripping out or nothing. The area I was in was very, 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 very affluent because I always took my kids to the playground over there and stuff. He wasn't acting all suspicious, but I didn't look all suspicious any damn way. I was dressed, and everything looked professional and everything, kids looking good. So he didn't have, I wasn't looking like I was about to do no weird shit anyway, but not saying that people do be looking like that, but you know what I'm saying. He didn't give me no ticket, well, he did give me the ticket, but he explained to me why he had to do it. He didn't really want to do it. And I told him I understood because my son is also a police officer and he really didn't just start being a police officer, but I told him that and stuff and everything. And that ticket took me forever to pay that ticket. I told you guys the story so many times. It took me so long to pay that ticket, child. I'm not gonna lie. And that's on everything. Shit, I think I went down there to the police station some years later and paid it. And I think they took off some of the fees. I can't remember, you know. And then I got stopped. Um, like I said, I only got stopped by the police out here one time, I believe, by the highway patrol, if I'm not mistaken. And I told you what happened with that. He didn't give me the ticket. That was the first and only time that I got stopped out here. However, I have talked to police officers out here so many times dealing with that lady, my ex neighbor, who was calling them all the damn time. Because she was the one that was her son really was harassing my daughter. I told you guys about that before. She was calling the police on me. I was calling her back. But every time, the police came out to my house, she was so mad because I think she was trying to use that race stuff. You know what I'm saying? I really do believe she was trying to do that. But one thing she effed up on, my Sharon knows how to talk to people. And every time the police came, only one time I was about to be mean, and then I changed my mind and told them, yeah, you can come in and all this other because I told them no. Okay. And I was being mean at first, and then something came to me and said, why are you being mean to them? They're just doing their job. And so I was like, you know what? Y'all can come on in. I'm trying to figure out why I'm being mean anyway. I know this lady over here called, and it's about a bunch of bull crap. Her son likes my daughter. They mad because I won't let my daughter date this boy because I don't allow them to date and things like that. And we ended up having a long little conversation, not about that bullshit. We was talking about everything else. Okay. Just like all the other officers came inside, except one who was, well, two. One was kind of pissed at both of us, you know, like some men be, two women arguing over this foolishness. He was like, he need to call my husband and her husband too, so we can cut this foolishness out. And that's what he was saying. Then this other officer who was a black dude, he was sick of me and her too. He said that he was going to call our husbands and stuff because we keep on calling the police, and he told me he wasn't coming out again and don't call them no more. And he told her the same thing. I have never heard the police tell somebody don't call them again, but that's what they told us. Don't call them ever again about this foolishness. And then he had said that he was going to get both of us put out of our places. I didn't know they could do that either out here and out this entire city, but they didn't do me like that. They ended up doing her like that. They put her out the entire city. She had to leave. Okay. So she went back to Las Vegas and stuff. Yeah, they wouldn't even rent her or anything. I was blessed because they knew what this started from. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to disclose everything on this thing because it's some racial stuff involved in this, but they knew what that all stemmed from. You know what I'm saying? She almost got herself effed up though. I'm not going to lie and stuff. But anyway, she thought she was bad too, man. That lady was a hot ass mess. But y'all, it was a trip. If I would have been doing a live thing, y'all would be laughing. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a trip, man. This is the lady who sent me the flowers in the mail, right? To get me to get that restraining order because we filed restraining orders on each other. Okay. But she filed one on me because I told her ass, if you knock on my door again, you're not gonna be knocking on it again. That's what I told her. I told her stop knocking on my door. And this is she also called her big ass 6 feet some son over there trying to argue with me. And I also told him some things as well. But so she ran down there filing a restraining order, not because what I told her son, because I had every right to do that with his big ass, but to what I told her. And let me tell you something. When I went to the court, the judge asked me, did I say that? Did I tell her that I had it? You know what? I told her no. But what I did tell her is that if she knocked on my door again, she's going to be sorry that she knocked on it. I ain't lie. I told the judge that. And so the judge did grant that restraining order to her. And then they grant my restraining order too. And we both had restraining orders on each other. But what she did, she tried to get me off of my porch to come down, to fight her, which is stupid. When you got a restraining order, why are you doing this? Okay, I didn't come down to her place trying to do the same thing because I already know don't violate your restraining order. So she violated hers, but we didn't call the police and tell them. But her stupid ass called the police because my daughters, they went down the stairs and got into the little argument with her and stuff with her son. And I think the son had pushed one of my daughters, and my daughter pushed them back. And then the mom had called herself trying to slap my daughter, and my daughter slapped her ass back, y'all. She really did. And so when the lady called the police that time, the police said they're not coming out for her. But when my daughter called the police, they came out for us and stuff. But nobody got it. She didn't get in trouble or anything, because they know, like I said before, it was a bunch of bullshit. And I wasn't going to file no charges because, and stuff. Because it was just a bunch of bullshit. Arguing because her son liked my daughter, and I would not let my daughter talk to him. My daughter didn't like him anyway because the boy was weird. He was like a weirdo. He was peeping through people's windows and shit. He would sit up on top of the roof to watch, to try to look inside my daughter's bedroom and stuff, just doing all types of weird shit. A pervert. He's probably incarcerated right now or in the psychiatric ward or somewhere because the little boy is nuts. He used to follow my girls when I let them go to the store and stuff. Little weird ass little boy and stuff. But anyway, the police did end up getting her ass out of this entire city. I didn't even think they could do that out here. But I guess different rules for different places. But anyway, and then when we moved, this bitch ended up trying to have make up lies again. She sent a detective to my new place. Ask me how did they know where I live at? And police be knowing y'all because I never gave out my address or anything, but they knew where I lived at. And it wasn't a police officer; it was a detective who came by my house, and I told them the story. And this detective believed everything that I said, and said he knew that she was a problem and she was starting all this stuff and everything. The case is closed. He's gonna tell her not to call him ever again. And if I have any problems with him or give him a call. He gave me his card. I still got his card till this day. And so he told me that they had to move, okay, and stuff. But I thought when he said they had to move, they had to move to another place. But no, they had to move out of this city right here because they couldn't get. I don't know what type of system they use, but they must have put in a system. Don't rent to this lady or anything. Don't sell her nothing or anything because they couldn't get a place out here or anything. And the black police officer had already warned me and told me they could do this because at that time he was telling both of us that he was going to get both of us out of this apartment complex and out of the entire city. Because I'm like, okay, I'll just move somewhere else. He was like, no, out of the entire city. And I was like, you can't do this and stuff. That's what I said to myself. And they got her stupid ass out. They probably, I don't know if they really could have did that. If she would have got a lawyer, but her broke ass wasn't gonna get no lawyer. So she got up and moved. She did try to get other places out here, but she couldn't get it, because they wouldn't rent to her and everything. And we saw her husband because he was a manager at the hotel. We saw him one time, but he didn't know who he was. Even though I talked to her husband for about an hour, it's nothing. She sent her husband to my place thinking he was gonna go on. This dude came over there and we up here talking for a whole 2 hours about everything. That's what I'm talking about. People be trying to do shit and it backfire on them all the way. Okay? This dude, her husband, talked to me for about 2 hours about everything else. And then he started blaming his wife and his stepson. So, I mean, it was just a whole bunch of bullshit, y'all, and stuff. So, for me, um, all my experiences with the police, majority of the time, was pretty much okay. Not to say that some ain't a hot ass mess, because I already know that some officers are a hot ass mess. Some are racist, and that's on everything. But I'm just glad and I'm blessed at the same time that I never had to really deal with the one that was a hot ass mess. The one who stopped me in ATL out in Griffin, I don't know if he was racist or not. He was just very professional. He didn't try to do no small talk, and I didn't do it with him. You know what I'm saying? I stayed professional. So I don't know if he was racist or not. Okay. But other than that, no, I never really came in contact with none that was like a hot ass mess. Even when I had to use self defense, they was just professional shit, and stuff. And I still had the other officer was still nice, very nice and things like that. So, like I said, it just all depends, on what officer you come in contact with, and if they're being fair and things like that, and not racist. Like I said, I've been blessed. Some people have not been. They have met racist cops. That's exactly why I think they need to do more tests, better tests. Make sure they got the right people to be in these positions. Because if somebody shows any signs of being racist or say anything that's racist, they don't need to be a cop. And today, it's so many ways you can check to find out. And I really don't know why they don't do this. You know, sometimes you never know. They may want to use certain cops because some people do be racist, in certain positions. But at the same time, this is why I say we as brown people need to watch some things that we do at the same time. Granted, there have been cases where people don't do anything, and something happens to them based on their color of their skin. You know what I'm saying? So again, some cops shouldn't be a cop, point blank. They shouldn't be a cop. Some people don't need to be in their positions either in the legal field. Let's just keep that right, because they be, racist. They don't be fair. They be unprofessional. They be just doing too damn much. Those types don't need to be police officers or doctors or lawyers or anything else for that matter, you know? But at the same time, we too need to make some changes in certain things that we do. Okay, it goes both ways, you know? But anyway, guys, we are getting ready to get out of here because I can talk forever about this subject. Tomorrow, I don't know if I'm gonna talk about that special subject. I mean, that special topic yet. I'm gonna try to. I gotta get all the information together. So I'm gonna give you guys some breaking news tomorrow too, because I wasn't going to do that today, but tomorrow I'll do some breaking news. Other than that, guys, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watches this in the replay. Y'all, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed this content. If you found out anything that's that could be helpful to you. Also, hit the bell notifications so you can be notified of all of my videos. And you don't have to watch every video, just watch whatever you want to. Also, subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much. If you would like to show support to this channel, you can do that by doing a Cash App to $Shades2. Hold on, guys. Excuse me. Okay. And thank you in advance for that. Y'all have a good night and sleep tight. And have a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to do it earlier or tomorrow at 7:30, but I'll try to do one earlier. Okay? Other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. And good night. This is Shades2. Oh, let's go ahead and tune this out, y'all. Good night. Good night, y'all. Sweet dreams and happy and blessed Wednesday.